51%, אתה מכיר?
אני מכיר, אם תגיד לי, אני אתחיל יותר טוב.
Apologies, but I'm going to probably trash talk social media a little bit because what we've learned globally, but particularly in Hawaii, is that with the advent of social media, we have no more boundaries to any of our natural resources. Virtually everything is fair game, oftentimes to the detriment of the resource, and tragically, sometimes leading to death and injury of the people that are taking advantage of platforms, leading them to where they should not go. So in 1999, on Mother's Day, 21 years ago, at Sacred Falls, which host culture calls Kaluanui, which is the name of the stream, 8 people died tragically due to a massive mass wasting event of rocks and soil coming down at high velocity into the bowl at the base of the waterfall, which is already littered with nothing but boulders, indicating, hundreds and thousands of years of rocks coming down. But in this case, it was tragic beyond all measure because it was a Mother's Day on a Sunday and families were there swimming, enjoying the pool, and without any warning and with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide, because it's like being in a cereal bowl with cliffs, tons of material came down at high velocity, came shooting out of the waterfall, hit the rocks, and like shrapnel from artillery, shot in all different directions, crushing some people. Some people lost limbs and then died. Others were buried beneath. And then many, many other people were simply injured from the shards of rock flying and hitting them. Obviously, due to the tragic nature of that, we closed Kaluanui immediately. What I really want to do today and capture your attention and your mindfulness is, as beautiful and as attractive as that location appears on social media, please don't take the bait. Disregard that beauty. There are many, many other places to go that offer comparable opportunities for hiking. Not as much for swimming. It is a big swimming hole, but there are other freshwater streams that are way safer and, more importantly, are authorized and managed for your recreation. Another example in your folks' neighborhood is Pu'umanamana, or Crouching Lion Trail. It has closed signs on it, as we do it at Sacred Falls. Crouching Lion is not a sanctioned trail either, never was. Like Kaluanui, it goes through a sensitive native cultural area where there's a heiau along the route, and it was used traditionally for spotting the fish when the fish would come in for Kahana Bay. So it has, like Kaluanui, it's very sensitive culturally. And people, because of social media, that place has just gone ballistic in terms of use. And it's a closed area. So like Sacred Falls, Pu'umanamana or Crouching Lion, if you're caught there, law enforcement can cite you, and there are significant financial penalties that will be applied to you. We could go up to $2,000 on a civil penalty if we wanted to take it to our land board to prosecute. And we're not doing this because we want to deprive people of outdoor recreation and stunning vistas. We got choke versions of those on trails that I'll tell you about later within our state parks and in our state forest reserves. What we want to try to do is save your life. Crouching Lion, 2 years ago, a 21-year-old girl, 22-year-old girl, about the same age as my daughter at the time, went up there, local girl, so she knows her way around rocks and cliffs. Trail is very narrow, it's very windy, can be very wet, and she fell to her death. Devastated her family. She was a student. And unfortunately, there are a lot of videos on social media showing people with drones, which are illegal in state parks, showing people with selfie sticks running along the trail with music. And the problem is that these videos, which are beautifully crafted and so well orchestrated with both stunning views and hot music, it's like candy for people. And when one person goes, then 5 people want to go, and those 5 people post, and then 20 people see it. And it's like in the old Walt Disney cartoon, The Sorcerer's Apprentice, where he keeps killing the broom and the broom replicates, and pretty soon they're all over the place. That's what social media has done to our natural and cultural resources in the state of Hawaii and actually globally. Social media is encouraging a huge amount of disrespect for both people's personal safety, the cultural and natural resources that were never managed for hordes of people. Another thing, just to guilt you out a little bit, is if you go into a closed area or an out-of-bounds area and you find yourself in jeopardy and you make that 911 call, you're now jeopardizing fire rescue guys who now have to come in either on a dangerous trail or in a helicopter to haul out either an injured person or, God forbid, a dead person. And all those firemen have families and wives and children. So when you disregard the sign that says closed area, danger, we're not doing this because we're just bureaucrats in government trying to deny privilege. We're trying to save your life, the resource, and the lives of our first responders and their families as well. Let that sink in as I talk to you guys about this, because what appears to be a very casual stroll on a Saturday up a cool trail to get a selfie to post, if things go wrong, there are scores of people that are implicated in the rescue and in the processing of all of this. So you need resources of where you can go, and we have them. If you go to the Department of Land and Natural Resources, Facebook page, takes a few clicks, but you can navigate to the Hawaii State Trail Program. In Hawaiian, it's called Na'alahele, which simply means trails to go on. That is the official state trail program for the state of Hawaii, and has all of the trails that we encourage people to go on, that we manage for public use. Many of them lead to equally stunning destinations as the illegal trails such as Sacred Falls or Crouching Lion. You can also go to the State Parks website. And the State Parks website, we don't have as many authorized trails as the Division of Forestry and Wildlife does with the Na'alahele program. But on Oahu, we have the big ticket trails such as Diamond Head or Kaiwi State Scenic Shoreline or Aiea Loop Trail. You can go out to Ka'ena Point and park at the end of the road and walk along the shoreline out to the western tip of Oahu, and see endangered monk seals, sea turtles, stunning views of the Waianae Coast and the Mokuleia Coast, and be completely safe and completely legal in having that type of activity. And that's what we want. We want you to find the places where we're prepared for you, where we've determined that it's safe for you to go, and you're not risking yourself, or if you're visiting as a student from out of state, risking the emotional stability of your family. Should something happen to you here, and say you went out of bounds knowingly and went out of bounds and went into harm's way, or worse, you perished, just imagine how your mom and dad feel on the mainland, having sent you here for this, astonishing college experience in one of the most beautiful states in the United States. And by disregarding the warnings or being lured into a place you shouldn't go because of social media, you died or you're paralyzed. So I strongly encourage you to look for the right ones. They're readily available. There's resources to find where to go. BYU itself probably has some of those resources that can help you. And after this really long, dire talk, welcome to Hawaii. If you are a first timer, if you're a continuing student and you've been to these places, kapu, don't do it again. And there are fines. We're thin on law enforcement. If we catch you, though, we don't like to issue tickets. The tickets are a tool to make you stop. right? So with that, aloha and have a great day.